Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the Hall of Fame, well, particularly on part of the Hall of Fame in Triple H's speech. We just got done with WrestleMania weekend. I'm not going to be talking about that. I'll talk about that later on Thursday. But they had the Hall of Fame as they always do, and they have their little speeches and stuff like that. Most of the speeches were great. I enjoyed Lex Luger's speech. DDP, he introduced him. I think they wanted Sting, and they couldn't get Sting, unfortunately. But DDP did a great job with his speech. You had Michelle McCool, Undertaker. She did her induction speech for her and everything else. And Michelle McCool's speech was okay. I think out of all the speeches, I think that was like my least favorite speech. You had the natural disasters, typhoon, and then earthquakes. Family came out. They did a great speech. You had the match. The match between Austin versus Bret Hart, and I believe CM Punk introduced them and everything else. All in all, it was a good people have some good speeches. But let's go ahead and start. Let's get to the point of this video, which is one part of Triple H's speech that I really enjoyed and really got me into my feels. I thought it was very sweet and kind. So Triple H was the last one to speak, and I think by this time, by the way, they need to do something about these Hall of Fames, because they are so late. For me, the end of the speech and into 1:30, something like that. I'm they need to put this on a Thursday, because usually they'll put it on, especially if they're gonna do WrestleMania for 2 nights. They need to do this on a Thursday, because they usually do it after SmackDown, which I guess if SmackDown goes back to 2 hours, maybe it won't be that bad. But SmackDown 3 hours, and then you have another 3 hours with the Hall of Fame. I'm I get it. It's only once a year. It shouldn't be no big deal. But still, oh my gosh. Let's talk about part of Triple H's speech. Triple H, he talked about a bunch of stuff. Talked about how he met the Clique, how he formed DX Evolution. He talked about China, but here's the main reason why I'm making this video, because the thing that he said about Stephanie McMahon, I really enjoyed this part. So he talked about how basically he fell in love with Stephanie, but he knew that not just Stephanie, because she's the boss's daughter, could be bad for his career, because who knows what Vince McMahon would have said or would have done. Who knows what the other wrestlers would have said and done and everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? It was bad for his career, but not only bad for his career, it could have gotten her career kind of messed up too, because like I said, Vince McMahon, we don't know. I've heard stories about Vince McMahon, and who knows how he would react to this whole situation, and they could have messed up both of their careers and both of their lives and stuff like that. But he was but you know what? I was in love with her. I didn't know what to do. So he goes over and he starts talking about how he went over to The Undertaker and basically asked The Undertaker for some advice. The Undertaker, he was the leader of the locker room, the sheriff, I guess you can say. And The Undertaker basically told him, look, dude, if you love her, then go after her, right? And whatever happens, happens. If y'all are meant to be together, and y'all are it will work itself out, right? Everything will work itself out if y'all are meant to be together. And then they told him, and if anybody else has a problem with it, oh, fuck them, right? Who gives a shit? And I thought, man, that is so beautiful. What a great a description of what true love is. Willing to make sacrifices for each other just to be together. I thought that was such a beautiful thing. I started to emotionally cry because I'm a chick, whatever, but I thought it was great. I thought it was wow, that's so beautiful. It's I don't think that nowadays that you probably would find that kind of love for like another person, like two people will find that kind of love with each other. I mean, I'm hoping they would, you know, it sounds great, but I don't know. But I thought that was just really great. It was really just a beautiful segment and everything else like that. It's just like, wow. And obviously it worked. They've been married for a long time. They got 3 beautiful daughters. I think one of them's in college now, and like it was just a great speech. And talked about Linda, he talked about Vince and everything else like that. But at the end of the speech, which was funny, and he's like, you know, he's about to, he does this segment, and if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you, right? And the audience like, suck it. And he's like, well, I was gonna say thank you, but you know, suck it works too. Well, anyways, I thought that was so funny. I thought it was such a great moment and everything else like that. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.